In this tutorial, I'll be showing you a little-known program called Cam Studio. Cam Studio is the program I'm using right now to capture what you're seeing. Everything I move on this video is captured by Cam Studio, so it's a screen recorder. It's absolutely free. It's open source, so you can see the source code for it, and it's a really great program. To download it, all you have to do is go to Google, download Cam Studio, open it. Now you have Cam Studio here. I recommend you install the lossless codec. It's pretty useful.
Okay, so if you've successfully downloaded Cam Studio, you should see the Cam Studio icon somewhere on your desktop. Double click to open the program. Now, before we start to do any recording, it's worth having a look at the different drop-down menus that we've got at the top. If you downloaded the video compression file, lossless codec, you should be able to find that under Options, Video Options, and yes, there it is. Now, you might find that the default Microsoft Video 1 appears, so if that is the case, then scroll down, find lossless codec, and then click OK. The next thing we need to look at is this menu here called Region. If we open this up, we've got three options. Let's have a look at the first option. Okay, we'll click on that, and we'll click on Record. Now you'll see I've got a pointer with crosshairs. Now if I drag and hold, you can see that I can produce a window of any size and proportion. Now I'm not recording at the moment. If I let go of the left mouse button, then as soon as I do that, you'll see that instead of having the rectangle, we've got these little corner tabs here that mark the window area, and you'll see also that it's starting to make a recording now. Well, we'll press stop, and then this page opens up here where we can type in the name of the file. As we don't want to save that, we'll click cancel. Okay, the next thing we'll do is we'll have a look at the next one, which is Fixed Region. Now this opens up a page where we can actually set the size of that viewing area, that viewing window. At the moment it's set for 400 width, 300 height. We'll leave it at that for the time being and click OK, and we'll click on Record. Now this time we've got the actual window already drawn out, the proportions there, 400 by 300. Again, it's not recording until I left click the mouse, so we'll left click. Okay, and again you can see that we've started to record. These corner tabs are movable. We can actually move them to different areas of the screen, and also if we want at any time to pause a recording, we can click on the pause button, and you can see there pause flashing, and then onto the record button to resume the recording, and the stop button to stop it. Again, this page opens up, this time where we'll type in trial and save it. Now you can see it's compressing the audio. Okay, it's opened up on a different part of my desktop, so I'll drag it into the viewing window. Okay, so let's see what we've got. We press play, left click, and again you can see that we're starting to record. These corner tabs are movable. We can actually move them to different areas of the screen, and also if we want at any time to pause a recording, we can click on the pause button to resume the recording. And okay, one other option I think it's worth showing you is the option enable auto pan. Click on that and click on record. Okay, we've got this fixed window again, so we'll just left click the mouse. This time, instead of having little corner tabs, you can see we've got a rectangle which we can actually move. And as I move the cursor, the pointer, so the rectangle pans across the screen. And this is very useful if you want to take in other areas of the screen. So you've not got a fixed viewing area with this. You've got a movable viewing area. Okay, let's click stop. Okay, we need to give this a name, so we call it test. Now we'll click save. Okay, it's compressing the audio file again, and hopefully somewhere on my oh yes, there we go. Okay, drag that into the viewing area. Okay, let's see what we've got. This time, instead of having little corner tabs, you can see we've got a rectangle which we can actually move. And as I move the cursor, the pointer, so the rectangle pans across the screen. And this is very useful if you want to take in other areas of the screen. So you've not got a fixed viewing area with this. You've got a movable viewing area. Okay, let's click stop. Now there are various other options, obviously, which you've seen as I've done this video, options, cursor options and so on, which I've not explained. There are various videos on YouTube which explain those options better than I can explain them. So what I've done is to give you links in the accompanying notes to these particular videos, these tutorial videos, that will explain what the different options do. I think you'll agree that Cam Studio is a really simple application to use. But the next thing you've got to do is to think about how you're going to use it and what topics you're going to use it with.
So now we go to options, video options, and now we're going to set a compressor. Compressors are so that your video turns out a small file size. For example, instead of the movie being 500 megabytes, it's going to be 5 megabytes. It's reasonable enough to upload onto YouTube. YouTube has a 100 megabyte limit for videos. Using a compressor will make them much smaller. By default, Microsoft Video 1 is the compressor. It will make your video files a huge file size, so don't use it. Use either DivX or Cam Studio Lossless Codec. DivX is free, so you can download it. DivX Pro is not free, so download the free version. Uncheck the boxes that ask you for the DivX player, the DivX converter, and the other stuff. Only install the codec. And also you can configure the bitrate. Set it to 256. Clicking this button here. And you want to reset the settings. I set quality 60. Set frames every 30 seconds. You need to uncheck this auto adjust button. Capture frames every 50 seconds and 20 seconds. By default, the options in Cam Studios don't work. And if they do work, they set it up with like some kind of time-lapse feature, meaning that your audio and video are not synchronized. So I recommend you use these settings with DivX. Everything works great. Okay, now just go to OK. Now you're ready to record. You can record whatever you want now, but let's configure the audio. Let's say record audio from microphone. Record audio from speakers will record from stereo mix, meaning that if you're playing a game or something, it'll capture the audio too that's coming from your computer. So we have it on record audio from microphone. I'm going to set the audio options to audio options for microphone, and I'm going to reset it to a smaller format. I like using lame MP3. Click choose compressed format. By default, it's PCM. If you have MPEG layer 3 around there, I would recommend you use that. PCM I guess is okay. It's not horrible, but I like lame MP3. It makes the videos a little bit smaller. To download lame MP3, you have to download it. Yeah, sorry. You go to Google, and I'm gonna search lame download. Audacity has a quick, you have it right here. Go ahead and unzip it with your zip program. I like 7Z zip. You can use WinZip or WinRAR. And here we have the files. Ignore everything except ACM and right click here and install. This will install lame on your computer. Now if you open Cam Studio again, if you go to Tools, Audio Options, Microphone, you should have lame MP3 as an option in this list. 32 kilobits and 22 hertz mono is really good. It makes your audio files really small, so you will have very compressed audio and compressed video that will show up well on YouTube. It has a lot of options like cursor options. I think all these are basically pretty straightforward. 320 by 240 is the YouTube default size, so it's usually good enough. Again, if you want to teach your friends how to download music online, or you want to show them how to do something, there's always great demand for video tutorials and visual learning online. So upload your video tutorials.
Hello, this is John, and what we're going to do this time is we're going to produce a photo story using Photo Story 3 for Windows. So let's begin. We've opened up Photo Story 3 and we'll start a new story. Press next, and now we need to bring some photos into our photo story, so let's import some photos. And these are some photos that I did at a Owatonna art facility with my friend Darlene, so I'm just going to click on a few of the photos just to make a pretty basic photo story. We could also add music to this, but we'll forego that process at this time. Okay, I've selected my photos. The system will load those up. And we could remove some black borders if we want from our photos, and let's do that at least on this photo right here. And this program lacks a little flexibility in that I can't just stretch it out to the bottom. As you can see, I can't stretch it out. If I do, you'll see that it starts building the black from side to side again. So with this photo, we'll just include this portion of the photo that you see to the right in our story. We'll want to use that one. And as for all the other ones, we're just going to bypass the rest of removing the black. But we could do that to all of them. We also could do it automatically to all of them if we so choose. At this time, let's hit next. And we need to place a title on our movie, so we'll say Art Class by Darlene. And the black doesn't show up very well, so I'm going to highlight this, go to this font button, and we're going to change it from black to white. We're going to press OK, and let's move the wording from the center to the bottom. And if we go over to these three tabs here, we can hit the right tab and it'll put it in the bottom of the photo. So let's hit next, And now we can do some customization of motion of each photo if we so want. Let's click on, say, this photo of Darlene, and we're going to do some motion, and we're going to specify the start and end position of what we want to see on the screen. So we're going to start it here, and let's just narrow this down even a little more here. And okay, and we're going to set the end position is, we'll just go out a little further here and set duration automatically. Well, let's just turn around and we'll increase that to 6.0. So it's going to be on the screen for 6 seconds. And anytime you put some motion in it, you may want to make this a little longer so that it doesn't really go quickly across the screen and the person can't see what's happening. We could preview it at this point, but I'm just going to hit save and continue on. And now I can select music if I want at this point, but I'm going to bypass adding any music. If we were to show you, we can select it, and it would go to bringing up our menu screen, and we'd pick out the music from our menu from our hard drive, and we would continue at that point. But we're going to skip the music, and we're going to go to the next save your story. We can save it in a number of different ways, and we can go through those. But what we're going to do is we're going to save story to the computer, our computer. But let's go down here to settings for a moment. What size of a movie do you want? We got some choices on that. 320 by 240, 640 by 480, 800 by 600. 800 by 600 is the size of the old type of screens that we used to be having on our computer desks. The 1024 by 76 would be more of the current ones. We can also create a DVD or a CD to access a DVD, but for this we're just going to do a 640 by 480. We're going to hit OK. Specify the location of file name of your story. Let's do art class. I've already done one by Darlene /version 2. Hit save, and then we're going to hit next, and it's going to build the story for us. Now it's actually building the actual story, and it'll be a WAV, a WMAV type of file that it created. We can view it at this time. But we also need to save it as a project. If we save it out as a project, that allows us always to turn around and be able to go back and change it at a later date. So here you are, you're getting a chance to see the movie at this time. And there's probably a number of things that we probably should change off of this, but in any event, you get some idea. And all these, the motion that you're seeing, we can change it from going from left to right, right to left, from up to down, so on and so forth. We didn't go in and change all those different motions, but it surely is doable. So we've taken a look at it. I'm going to click off of that, and I'm going to turn around and say Save Project. Now this gives me a chance to save it out as a project. Which means, again, I'd be able to change it and either add photos or change any of the elements of that video that you just happen to see. So let's go to exit, and we are complete with our photo story for the moment. So have yourself a great day.
Media. So let's find Windows Movie Maker. Okay, click on the Start button, All Programs, And in the list you should find Windows Movie Maker. There it is with the little film reel icon. I gather that in some versions of Windows you will find it in accessories down here. But I'm running XP, and on XP it's in the main window there. So let's click on it. And it opens up, and there it is, Windows Movie Maker. Now as you can see, it's split into various panes. This is the movie task pane. All the tasks are listed down here. This is the collection area. This is where your collection of videos, all your media in fact, will show up there. This is the preview screen, which is adjustable to any size you like. And this is where you do the editing. This is called the timeline. You can show it as a storyboard if you prefer, by clicking this button here. I prefer the timeline because I think it gives more control. So let's start. The first thing we must do is import some media. You can just drag your files in from the desktop and drop them here, as it tells you to there. You can do it via file, or you can do it just by clicking on import video.
Most of you, when you first open Windows Movie Maker, it opens under the storyboard, but I like to use the timeline. It's a little easier to edit. Okay, Movie Maker's open. Got a lot of options in here. The only three I use is the usually you can open and close these so you can get at them more. Capture video, you want that open. Edit movie, you need that one open, and finish movie, you need that one open. You won't need movie making tips because I'm going to point some of those out to you. Now under capture video, capture from video device, which would go to your webcam. Import video, import pictures, and import audio and music. Let's click on import video. At the top you can see where it says look in. You want to open that up and browse to your folder where you save all your videos. Mine's in my videos. If you've created videos with your webcam, you can click on them here. Just double click on it and it'll load it. Depending on the speed of your computer, it might take a minute, maybe not. This only has a half a gig of memory, 512. I usually carry a gig, and this you don't even hardly see this window. So the memory does make a big difference. CPU not so much, but definitely the memory. But that's how you import a video. So what we're going to do is hold down your left mouse and drag your video down into the timeline, and then let it go. And you'll see it loads up. But this one carries all the way across the screen. I can't even see the end of it. So what we want to do is click on the plus and minus. You can click on the minus and it gets smaller. See it coming in? Up here in the corner it tells you how long the video is, which this is 7 minutes and 1 second and 27 tenths. Tenths don't really matter too much. Okay, so you click in here anywhere and it'll go to that portion of the video. Let's say you wanted to edit it right there. Then you'd hit pause. There. Let's say you want a little finer control. You know, to fine tune where you're going to cut the video at, then you'd go up here and click on plus and make everything bigger. Make it as big as you can if you're going to try and edit your voice. Okay, we're at, kind of remember where you're at in case you lose your point. If you put your cursor over there, it tells you where you're at. 2 minutes and 50 seconds, almost 51 seconds. That way if you get lost, you'll be able to come back to that point. See, with you zoomed in all the way, you get more control over your video, and you can actually take this and drag it into the other video. Let's drag it in a long ways to show you what it does. See how it overlaps each other? So now we're going to play it. Import pictures about the same way. Okay, let's import American flag. And there we have the American flag. Well, let's say we're in our video, we want to put that, we get to the point where we want to insert that picture, and you want to go over and you want to, once you get to that point, you go over and click cut, and then drag your picture down to where you cut it, and it'll insert itself right there. See that little tiny thing? You can't even hardly click on that picture. So we're going to go back over to the plus and zoom in on the screen. Now you can edit the picture. Let's say you want to add a caption to that picture. Go up to make titles or credits, and it's going to give you a list of options. Whether you want to add the title to the beginning, add title, then that'll be the beginning of your video, or add a title to this before the selected clip, or add a title on the selected clip, or add a title after the selected clip, or credits at the end of the movie. Let's go before the selected clip. Type in what you want. Now once you type in, you've got more choices down here. You get a preview of it over here, what it looks like. If you're happy with it, click on Done, Add Title to Movie. There's a couple other options. You can change the text font and color. That one changes the size of your font. And at the other end of that, you see where it says color. This one is the color of your font. This one's the color of your background. And you can make it bold font, italic, underline. You can change the font type. Once you get that set, you can go back to edit the title text, or you can go to the other option that's available, change the title animation. Okay, if you want to edit a certain clip, just click on that clip and it'll go to the beginning of it with the timeline. Or if you want to edit this clip, just click on it and it'll go to the beginning of that one and it'll highlight. But it's so small right now, so we're going to go make it bigger, zoom into it, and now we can manipulate that clip. You see the hand changes, and that if you hold down your left mouse, you can drag the clip around. You can change places. You can make it longer. You see how the cursor changes when you get to the edge of it. You can just drag it over and it'll get longer so it stays on the screen longer. If you want to edit that particular clip, right click, go to Video Effects, and there's a whole lot of choices in here where you can blur it, increase the brightness, decrease the brightness, ease in and out. You can slow it down by half, or you can speed it up by double. Click on the one you want, click Add. It shows up in here. We sped it up by double. That'll make this clip that you had selected run twice the speed, which makes the sound run twice the speed also. Okay, the other part of editing a clip, click on the clip that you want to edit. Go up to Make Titles or Credits. Title on the selected clip. Type in something that you want to show up in the caption. Then of course you change the title animation and the text. We showed you that. So for now we're just going to click Done, Add Title to Movie. When you add text to a clip, it shows up underneath down here, and you can move that around so it shows up a little before the clip or after the clip or whatever. You can make it show up longer, shorter. And once you create that caption, if you don't like it or you want to change it, click on it to highlight it, and then right click, and at the top it'll say Edit Title, and that reopens it so you can edit it, change your animation, the font or whatever. And if you decide you don't want it in there at all anymore, you click on it to highlight it, right click, and delete. Now the other part I'm going to show you is how to edit your voice. And in this part right here, well, let's listen to it. and that'll make this clip. No, I said that'll make twice in there, so I want to cut that out. If I'm going to edit my voice, I want to increase the size as much as possible. We'll hit play, and that'll make this. We'll go back to where I first said that, and that'll make. And we want to cut that one out because we've got it here again. That'll make this. And that'll make. Okay, we know it's right there. So the beginning where I started to talk. Goes up in here, we sped it up by double. Okay, we get to the part where that sentence ended. We'll click cut. Wait for it to refresh. Hit play again, we'll get past that point. And that'll make. I'll click cut again. Then highlight the clip that we don't want. Right click and delete. Now when we play it back by double, that'll make this clip that you had selected, and now it's fixed. Now I'll show you what the video transitions look like. There's all kinds of them in here. The transitions work best between one frame to another that look different. We'll find the transition we want, we'll drag it down and place that clip, and we'll hit play and we'll see the transition. Or whatever you want to do, but don't. If you decide you don't like that transition, which shows up between the video and the sound, you can highlight it, right click, and delete. And the transition's gone. Okay, we're going to capture from video device. Of course, you'd have to have your webcam already plugged in. Capture from video device. It'll show your camera. Click next. You'll have to give it a name. It's going to remember the last place you saved it. Click next. If you don't see these other choices, there'll be a little blue link. It looks like this one. And it'll if you click on that, it'll open these other settings. And you want to click on other settings. For the best video quality, you want to select a high setting. It's going to make a bigger file, but you're going to get a lot clearer picture. And I usually select the video for local playback at 2.1 megabumps because that's the highest one. And then we'll make that smaller later to upload it to YouTube. Click next. Now once you're ready to start recording, click on Start Capture. It shows you a preview of what you're recording so you can see if you're lined up or where you want it to be and stuff. Then you've got the option here to create clips when Wizard finishes. That's always a nice idea because if you pause or something like that, Windows Movie Maker will actually pick that up for you, and it's pretty smart about knowing where to split it into clips for you. Then when you're done recording, click Stop Capture, Finish, and it'll import your video. Now it's making clips. Again, you can preview your clip, click on it up there, then hit play. Then of course, like we said before, just drag and drop it down into your timeline, and it inserted your clip. Once you've finished your video, you're going to go to Finish Movie, Save to My Computer. You got to give it a name, name it anything you want. Then you have to choose where you want to save it. So you can see mine's going to My Documents, My Videos, YouTube. Then click Next. Now you have to choose once again. And YouTube recommends to make it video for broadband at 512 kilobumps. And that doesn't turn out too bad. I'm going to click Next. And you can see it's saving movie. 1 gig of memory is recommended to run Movie Maker. Otherwise it's going to crash on you, it's going to be real buggy, and it's going to take a really long time like this one is right now. Now let's say you get maybe a quarter of the way, or you're not quite finished with your video yet and you want to come back to it later. Go over to File, Save Project As. You can open up the menu bar and browse to any folder you want. My documents, my videos, YouTube, YouTube 1. Click on that folder, name it, and then click Save. I've already saved it once, so it asked me if I want to save it again. You know, if I want to replace the original. I said yes. Now you can just close it. Now you can go back into that folder where you saved it and just double click on the file and it'll open. Now what happens with this one is I move the folder since I created it the first time, so you get these empty boxes down at the bottom that don't show any content. In the original file I opened is blank. So what you want to do if that happens to you is right click on your empty file here, and right at the bottom it'll say browse for missing file. And then I'm going to go into the folder where I just opened it from, or wherever it's saved at. Let's see, YouTube 1, and there's my missing file. Just double click on that, it'll refresh itself, and X is gone, my video's back.
A little music video. We'll do it using still images, which are imported into the collection exactly the same way as movie clips, and we'll make it up as we go along. Okay, import pictures. There we go. Let's have all of them. There we have it. 4 nice pictures. So let's arrange them pleasingly on the line. We'll drag that one there. We'll put the zoom down a bit to see what we're doing. Let's have the sunset next, and then we'll have the blue hills, and we'll finish off with winter. Now, as you can see, if we run it now, the transition between them is a bit sudden. So what we'll do is we'll fade them into each other. We'll just push it towards each other like that, and like that, and like that, and we've got 3 fade areas. And now if we play it, we should see that nicely fade into each other. Yes. Lovely. And finally, there we go. It does, however, end abruptly. So, right click on the last clip and we shall fade out. And now when we run it, we should have a nice fade at the end. And there it is. And in fact, let's fade in the beginning as well. Same way, right click, fade in, and now when we start the video it should fade in nicely. And it does. Excellent. What about some music? Go up to the movie tasks, import audio music. Sad piano. There it is, sad piano. We'll drag it down to the audio music line, and let's play them together. Very nice. So I'm going to click on the music and fade it in, and then we'll come to the end of the picture sequence, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the audio in half there, like this, and the second half I'm going to right click and delete. So now the music is the same length as the sequence of pictures. And I click on this and fade out. I'll just check that that's going to fade out now. Lovely. And now just to finish it off, I'll put a title on the very beginning. So I'll put my cursor there, click on make titles or credits, title on the selected clip, My Photos. There we go. Let's change the text font and color. We'll change the color to yellow. Okay, and we'll change the font to, oh, that's quite nice. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll click on Done, Add Title to Movie. And there it is. Excellent. So there we have it. In a couple of minutes, we've made a complete movie. Just run it through. So there you have it. That's how easy it is to make a movie with Windows Movie Maker.